winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
Got
65 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. Second and goal. The Bucs pick it up. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I need your help on this one. We just saw an extra point blocked. Do you think the rain had anything to do with it getting blocked?
Everything goes a little bit slower, but I'll tell you what, the snap and the hold, they look good.
Yeah, and most of the time, I love when you bring that up about it getting slower. It's deliberate when it gets slower, right? Because you have to go through it a little bit more. You want to be just a little bit more careful catching the ball, putting it down, and giving him a chance to kick it.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now left side on the swing pass. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly.
Think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
A pass there complete to Sutton. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On second down, Jacobs. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done because at worst case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now, they're not close to the first down.
And now here comes Kansas City. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Now a handoff looking right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Throwing, Mayfield, and he slings one that's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And he's going to wind up getting this all the way down to the Buccaneers' 24.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 50, plant. Double dog, that's the way. Ready.
On 1st and 10, Eason. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Eason. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it. And occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
To throw on 3rd down, Eason. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2nd and 13. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Gets it off to Freeman. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one goes for 30 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Looking to throw. Eason, the Kansas City defense, tough to throw on there. And now it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. That is caught at the 7-yard line. He'll be ridden out of bounds. Didn't even come close to sniffing the end zone. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. And this one's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Jeffrey Simmons. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it. From the gun on 3rd down. Eason over the middle. It's complete. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll run on first down. Ricks muscling free near the 40. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On second down now, Ricks. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. 38 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
To throw on second down, Eason, and his throw is going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They stop them for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Boy, a curious decision to go for it doesn't pan out, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. This will be fielded at the 6. So we've reached half. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Eason. He's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Throwing middle, and it's complete.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. On second down, Mayfield again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. That was the safety, Taylor Rapp, right there on the coverage.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking to throw on second down. Eason looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A big pickup there. 18 yards and a buck. Buccaneer first. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Eason. He's got a man. That's Marshall. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run it with Jacobs. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Check 55, Mike. It's going to be a long...
On first down, Eason. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Run.
Mayfield looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. So a change of possession here on the punt. Elsewhere, a third-quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Deshaun Watson, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, complete. It's Freeman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Running the toss here to Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. Now this throw caught left side. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Ready, break. Check 55 to Mike. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag.
Throwing on first down. Eason. And he will find his man on the outside. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Go, 50, play. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. Let's go, defense. Let's go. Come. Here we go. Check, go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Back to throw. Eason. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Darius Slayton there to make the grab. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A big play there for KC. 47 yards. Big run here in the 4th as they continue to wear down this defense.
And that's when the offensive line coach clicks onto the headset and says, head coach, offensive coordinator, let my guys fire out and hit people. We're wearing them down. Let's finish them off with the running game.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. First throw now for the backup Wentz. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down.
I'm going to run you over. Mike check 33.
Wentz going to throw. They'll get this complete to Batson. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Cameron Batson. 26 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Eason is going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st and 10, Eason. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete.
That's it, baby.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
You better be afraid of me. You better.
2nd and 6. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Mayfield now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Mayfield off the play fake. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Wentz to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big pickup of 38. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for him.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Maurice Hurst busting through to get him for a loss of 6. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off the drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
We got this.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Back to throw. Eason looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So this one in the win column for Kansas.